All right, Laken.
Yes.
Laken, we had some technical.
We did.
I'm telling you
tonight.
Do you hear the? Is
Do you
it
hear
repeating
the?
itself?
Is it repeating itself?
It was, but now it is not.
Okay.
Okay.
I hear myself, but we're going
I
to.
hear myself, but we're going to keep going.
Okay. Let's try this.
Okay.
So
let's try this. So
I hear myself.
I hear myself.
Hold on 1 second.
I only hear you once.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Hold on 1 second.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome.
Okay, so
we have
focus tonight, but we're going to do
this again.
I want you to sing my song. Can you sing that before we start?
What are we singing?
Goodness of God.
Okay.
We're going to try this
again.
And I believe we're live on Facebook and live.
So you faithful. No one like you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. Every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's a really.
I love it.
It really,
and
I
really
appreciate
that you sang it tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. We are so excited to have you.
I have
this
this
interview.
interview.
And I asked you to do this
back in
2019. And we are now 2023. And I am so excited who has said yes, and you are here. So this is amazing. Awesome. Well, I first met you when I was just through my Instagram. And I was
And
looking
I
for
was
love
looking for love
songs
songs
and
and
vocalists doing love
vocalists doing love
songs in
songs
the
in
month of
the month of
February.
February.
And you had
And
this
you had this
14-day
14-day
countdown of
countdown.
love
Mhm.
songs. And you
And
sang
you
the
sang
Anita
the
Baker
Lanier
song,
Laker song,
beautiful,
beautiful,
gorgeous
gorgeous
tone.
tone.
And you were
You were
playing and
playing.
singing. It was
It was
beautiful,
beautiful,
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Who is this
Who is this
woman?
woman?
And I just started going through your
Going through your
video,
video,
and I
and
was
I was
just
just liking
liking them all. Because you are
because you
amazing.
are amazing.
And I was so
I was
intrigued
so
by that
intrigued by that
sound,
sound,
style, everything
everything
about
was
you was amazing.
amazing. And you were
Well,
You
thank
really,
you.
really are.
smart.
Can you just
Can
tell
you
us
just tell us
about your
about your
background
background
and
and
your love
your
for
love for
music and
music and
how
how
just in
just in
Arkansas
Arkansas
you began
you
playing?
began playing?
Just tell us a little bit about
A little bit about
Okay, well, I am originally from a southeastern, very small town called Monticello, Arkansas. I pretty much went to school there. I was reared there. I ended up here in Little Rock as an adult, but I lived here a couple of times in my childhood. But for the most part, the default was Monticello. I went to school there. I sang in the school choir there. I went to church there, which is pretty much, there's nothing spectacular about the background really, because I think most singers that sing in the way that I do with the musical thing that I do, they all start at church.
right.
And so pretty much my mom sings very well. My grandfather sang very well. We pretty much everybody's either in ministry and music ministry. So that was pretty much my surroundings. Like, and it wasn't just gospel music, it was all music. Like everybody loves all kinds of music. So it was the natural progression for me, honestly. I'm one of the few people in my family that plays an instrument, but everybody is a music person for the most part. Even if they just carry a tune, they're still involved in like the choir or something like that. So
Right.
I grew up in Monticello. We did all the things that Southern people do, which is pretty much church and family gatherings that are all centered around music. So pretty much I have been steeped in that culture just because that's what we do. We celebrate everywhere, and we do it in the with music at the heart of it all. Um, I started playing seriously playing the keyboard at age 11. I had a full arsenal of instruments though since probably the age of 2 or 3. And I used to play, but I didn't play well until I was like
Oh, wow.
10 or 11. And then pretty much they tried to give me piano lessons, but I would end up teaching the teachers. So it became more of a communal thing where they were paying for me to swap chords with my teachers. I actually had a teacher, she was supposed to teach me how to read, but she said she did not want to stifle me because my ear was so advanced that I would quit trying to read music. That's probably that's probably a no-no. But she spoke from her heart and she said, I feel like if I take you back to the beginning, you already sight read from being in choir. It's like, but if I take you back to the beginning with piano and start at the beginning, you're gonna quit because you already play very well by ear. So we ended up just kind of like she kind of taught me how to the fundamentals of what people I guess would sense as the fundamentals of keyboard playing as far as like positioning, but
Mhm.
everything at that time I was so engrossed in music that if I heard it I could play. Like it was very surreal for me, but it was exciting because I woke up in the morning playing the keyboard. I went to bed. I would wake up in the middle of the night and play and play and play. And I started like maybe in at 11 and a half. By the time I was 12, I was carrying full services at my church.
Mm.
So yeah, like it happened really, really fast. It was an escalation. One would say that I'm considered a piano prodigy, but I think I just banged on the piano long enough until it started to sound good. And that's pretty much like I sang from the age of 2 or 3, but the confidence didn't come until I started playing for myself. I started playing the piano and actually singing with confidence at the age of 11. And by the time I was 12, I had started, branching out. People actually knew about it by the time I was 12.
The thing is, when you
When you
first
first
started,
started,
what was that
what
age?
was that age?
I mean, like I said, I tinkered around. Like I had a mini upright piano at the age of 2 or 3. And I was just like, bang on it and sing. Like I would sing. They knew I could sing from age 2 or 3. Like I would mimic whatever the choir was doing, like all the time. I would sing to the radio all the time. But maybe like when I was 10 or 11, the banging started to sound really, really melodic. And then I got a better keyboard because it's like, okay, maybe these aren't toys anymore. We probably need to do something else. My mom and my grandfather were very instrumental in saying like, okay, well maybe we need to buy her a bigger keyboard, like an arranger or something. And I wrote a song like right at the beginning of me turning 11. Those were the only chords I knew, but they had shifted from, you just playing notes and doodling on the keyboard until it was like, oh, this sounds like music. Because we know she can sing. And I started singing to what I was tinkering around with. And so I think it was a combination of prayer, because we actually were running into a situation where my home church actually needed someone to play the piano. And it was already kind of understood that they knew that I was tinkering around, but I didn't tell anybody the depth of skill that I had started to develop. And I got my hands prayed for at a service like when I first turned 11. And within those 6 months, it was out. Like it was like, oh, she plays the piano for real. Like it started with one song, and it's like, well, see if you can play this song. See if you can play that song.
Wow.
See if you can play that song. And it just kind of escalated and snowballed into you play the piano here now. Like that's the thing. And it all started, I think the biggest thing is I learned Alabaster Box by CC Winans.
Yes.
And I went somewhere else. I went to another church. They invited me to sing, but when I went up to the keyboard and was like, I need you to get up because I need to sit down so that I can play this song, it was like, wait a minute, what?
Yes.
I know you said you were a little girl. When did you start playing the piano, like for real? And like after that, it was a wrap. Like it was okay, you're gonna play. So I started playing for the youth praise team, and then it infiltrated itself into filling in for um the scarcely showing up keyboard player. And then we looked up one day and I was playing every Sunday. So
Well, I just,
I
some of the
some of the
greatest
greatest
are the ones
are the
that
ones that hurt.
mm-hmm.
And then
And then
play
play
and have such a great
such a
year.
great year.
It's just
It's
it's to another
to
level.
another level.
And that
And that
I come out of
I
the church.
come out of the church.
So
Mhm.
I still say
Still
it's
say it's
spiritual
spiritual.
because
Oh
I
yes.
come out of the church.
the church.
And then I'm
And then I'm
scrolling
scrolling on
and I see
and I
you.
see you.
And I
And I
immediately
immediately
connected to your
to your
sound,
sound,
everything about. So
So
I still say
I still say
it's something
something very special
about
about
that vocalist.
that vocalist that
Oh, listen.
you think
It,
about,
it most definitely is. We know how to connect. I
Yes.
think we learned that early, because even until we come into the fullness of who we know God is and who He's made us to be, we know that music is a good way to get there quickly. And over time, I think it really does all work together, and you learn to put that in everything. And I think that has translated the most to any other genre that I sing. Like it has to all feel the same to me.
Well, I noticed when I
When I
hear your
hear
sound, I
sound,
still say you
I
have
still
this
say you have
fluffy,
this fluffy,
cotton,
cotton,
pure,
pure,
clean.
clean,
You have such
you
a
have such a
fluffy,
fluffy,
cotton, pure, clean
pure,
tone.
clean tone.
And
And
then
then
I hear the
I hear
jazz.
the jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I hear
I hear
the
the
spiritual,
spiritual,
the
the
gospel, the
gospel, the
soul
soul
come out of
come
that,
out of that,
and the
and the
mixture.
mixture.
When you're
When
teaching,
you're teaching,
I'm
I'm
also an
also an
educator. When
educator. I'm
I'm teaching young
teaching
people
young people
regarding
regarding
the
the
history of
history
music,
of music.
you
Mm-hmm.
talk about
Talk
what you
about
have
what you
that
have that
spiritual, the
spiritual, the
soul
soul
mixing
mixing
in with
in
all of
with
those
all of
different
those
cultures, the
cultures,
blues,
the blues,
all of that is
all of
Mm-hmm.
in
that
the
is in
sound.
the sound.
But
Yeah.
then you have
Then you
that
have that
soft, gorgeous
gorgeous
text, which
text,
is just absolutely
absolutely
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
So I'm very
I'm very
intrigued by
intrigued
that,
by
and
that,
that's
and
only,
that's only
like I said, it's such a gift.
such a gift.
It really
Thank
is.
you.
It
Is
really is.
really is.
So,
So
okay, let's talk
okay,
about
let's talk
sitting
about sitting
down
down
at the
at the
piano
piano
and
and
playing.
playing.
What did it
What
feel
did it
like
feel like
being so
being
young
so
and being
young and
able to
being
play
able
it in
to
the
play it
church?
in the church?
Um, it was scary because it was like, I think a lot of people don't realize how big of a task um being a minstrel is. Being a musician that is very instrumental in facilitating how the service goes.
Mm,
In our community, church is everything. Like church is a huge part of everybody's life. So, you are responsible for providing the soundtrack for that somebody's gonna have in their mind for the next week.
yes.
So it was like I felt like there was a little bit of pressure, but for the most part, there was a lot of privilege in it for me because um I understood, even if I couldn't articulate it at the time, I understood that what I had was special because I was playing quickly. My skill was kind of matching up with people who I had known had been playing for years.
Mm,
And all of a sudden my hands just started doing these things that I had seen people do for years that I knew took them years to
right.
to perfect. So it was like, okay, I'm afraid, but I'm going to do this because I can do this. And at the time there was a lot of things that weren't developed yet as far as my confidence went, but it was a safe space for me. So it's like I found significance in being able to have that role at such a young age. But
Mm,
I also understood that you know, the hand of the Lord was there and it was a good place to hide until I figured out all the
yes.
other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a blessing, it was a burden, it was a lesson, it was all those things at one time. It was a wild time.
Right. I know. I can
I can
imagine.
imagine.
Well, we have a
Well, we have
Facebook
a
page
Facebook
that
page
said,
that
"Hi,
said,
Laken
"Hi,
and
Laken
Laurice."
and
Hello.
Laurice.
We don't know
Hello,
who
we
you
don't know
are,
who
but we
you
want
are,
to
but
say
we want to
hello.
say hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Yes, and then
And then,
Johnny
Johnny Rod
mentioned
mentioned
God.
one
He
God. He
says,
says,
"Oh, thank
"Oh,
you,
thank
thank
you,
you very
thank you
much,
very
thank
much.
you."
Thank you."
Okay, we're gonna take
Okay, we're
just a
gonna take
little
just a
break. I'm
little
gonna try
break.
to
I'm gonna
fix
try to
on
fix
mic.
on
I
the
believe
mic. I
there's
believe there's
some stuff going
stuff
on with
going
our
on
weather
with our weather
tonight.
tonight.
So I
Mhm.
believe that's
I
what's
believe that's
causing
what's
some
causing
issues.
some
So we're gonna
issues. So
take
we're gonna
just
take
a
just
little bit
a
of a
little bit
break,
of a
and I'll
break,
be
and
right
I'll be
back.
right
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Laken.
I'm here.
Yay. It's much better, much better, much better.
Much better. Much better.
I still get some
I
feedback,
still
but
get some
okay, we're gonna
feedback, but
get through this
okay, we're
interview
gonna get
tonight.
through this interview
I'm
tonight.
excited about
I'm
it.
excited about it.
Me too.
Okay, I wanted to talk
I wanted to
about
talk about
you're just
you're just
developing your
developing your
skill and
skill
growing
and
with that,
growing
and
with
then
that,
being able to
and then
bring
being able to bring
outside even the
outside
church,
even the church,
the
the
versatility of your
versatility of your
sound and
sound
just
and
performance.
just performance.
Can you give me a little background
Okay.
on
Give me a little background.
Okay, so I think I mentioned it earlier. I was always involved in the music program at school. I went to college. I stopped pretty much doing choral music pretty much after my senior year in high school, but I continued to sing outside of that, of course, due to church and ministry. I would travel a lot during my college years. But while I was in the choral program, that opened me up with opportunities to sing other music, just because church was life. So like pretty much that was, your choir rehearsal in the middle of the week, and then on Sunday you do the thing.
yes.
Well, with choir music, of course, they would have sacred music, but for the most part, they would have talent shows and stuff like that. I actually got involved with my county talent show. I made history in Arkansas, actually. I
Oh
was the
wow.
first person from my county of Drew County, where Monticello is located, to win the variety category because I played and sang the piano. I made my track because it was just too much hassle to have a keyboard on stage. But
Oh wow.
that was why it ended up being in the variety category one year, and then the next year I won the vocal solo. But they mentioned that I made my track, so by default, it was one of those things. I was the first one to place at a state level at the ultimate state fair situation, so that
Oh,
was cool. I sang somewhere over the rainbow, and I did an arrangement of it that I played myself. I recorded it and then I sang to it there.
oh wow.
So they allowed me to switch categories to go to state because I couldn't bring a whole set up there. um, so with the talent shows with the county and the city, and just singing like for homecomings at high school, they wouldn't be church songs, they would be some kind of theme. So like I think one year it was All My Life by Casey and JoJo. So that's what they had me
I remember
sing.
that. Yeah.
They always had some kind of ballad or something. Like I know one year they did One Sweet Day when I was in junior high. So whoever was the singing person at the high school was, it was weird going from being the person that sees the singing high school kid to being that person for like 4 years straight
Wow. Yes.
when I was in high school. And then it went from there to people having birthday parties and engagements in college. That's kind of when that picked up, where they would do like open mic nights and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I dabbled and dabbled in singing other genres, and of course, like I was a music head, so I was playing everything, even though I wasn't performing anywhere but church. I wasn't singing anywhere but church until excuse me, until college. And then that's when, oh my God, I'm proposing to my girlfriend. Will you sing at the proposal? That kind of thing. And then of course, I'm getting married, so come sing at my wedding. And so like it's like, oh, okay. So maybe there is something here outside of church that, can be done. And so from there it became engagement after engagement. Most of them were still church, but for the most part, a lot of them were not. They were, engagements, weddings. Um, I hadn't done any parties, any birthday parties and stuff like that until I was an adult, a full-fledged adult. And then by that point, that really didn't come until one day in 2017. when I had decided that I would no longer be a minister of music stationary at a church, I started making videos on Instagram. And
Really?
they started out like 30-second clips. Um, and up until that point, I sang with several different ministry groups, some of which I'm still involved with now. We're made up of all solo artists, so it's we come together, then we do our own thing, and then we come together. So um, from there, I developed my sound by singing background a lot. Just taking in any vocality that I could, just learning from different environments. Off with all the traveling that I was doing throughout college in my early 20s. If I met a person, there was not a hating bone in my body. It was like, I love the way you sing. What can I glean from this person and turn into translate that into my life, into my musicality that could help me. It could be the way that a person breathes while they sang. It could be like I knew that my tone was mine. I knew that I gathered these things from the influences that I had, but if there were technical things that I could learn, I'm always learning. Like even now, like there's certain things that I'm coming into contact with now, and I'm like, okay, this is the language for what I've been doing for the
Right.
last 7 years. Now I know what to give it a name, that what to assign a name to. But ultimately, really the secular stuff didn't really start booming beyond weddings and engagements until I decided to turn my camera on at a horrible angle in 2017.
Let's stop there because this is important. No, let's talk about it. Because I saw you on Instagram doing the 14-day countdown to Valentine's Day. Right?
Mhm.
Can you please tell me how you started the 14-day countdown? It's very important.
So in November of like 2017, I guess Instagram had acquired the Vine technology. So you can make like 30-second clips. You can make like, well, you went 30 seconds and then all of a sudden it became a minute. And I would make videos here and there on like Facebook, before I wasn't really playing. I think I played for my birthday, like maybe in 2016. Like, and so I would just make some at random off the cuff. I just felt like singing, I would just turn my camera on and I would upload it. But in 2017, I got a wild hair, especially because I had taken a break from all the groups, all the traveling that I was doing, like everything. Like I said, I'm going to try my hand at content creation and I'm just going to make videos. And I got 1 minute, I'm just gonna make some videos. So I started making videos. I made a video to some karaoke tracks. Like, and I would just do it for like a minute. I would do like a snippet of the song. And in my mind it's like, leave them wanting more. If it's good, it's cool. I sang, it's a snapshot. If it's bad, it was only a minute, they didn't waste their life. And so I started doing that. And then one day I was at my keyboard and it was looking down. So like it was on a music stand. I was like, I'm just gonna see. Let me play this song. And the next thing I knew, there was like, church celebrities that were watching. They shared my videos. And then all of a sudden, all these people started watching my videos.
Wow.
And so, like, every now and then I would make like throwback Thursday videos from there. Like, okay, people are watching. They seem to be responding. I started getting, I got maybe like 2,000 or 3,000 followers on Instagram, but these are the same people that have been following me since then. I don't really post as much over there now that we have TikTok and Facebook and stuff, but when I do, pretty much they would like tune in. And so I said, I have all this time on my hands. I want to see if I'm going to be able to be consistent with making videos. So I challenged myself because people enjoy my Throwback Thursday videos. I said, well, what if I take some of these songs and do a countdown like for Valentine's Day? People are always in their feelings, whether they're with somebody or not. People love love. People love this music. It's
That's
great.
right.
So let's see if I can do um a countdown with like 1 minute videos for 14 days straight. Can I do this? It was a dare on myself. Like it was a bet on myself.
No, but I love it because you went outside of the box.
Oh yeah.
You didn't stay in your shell. And say, you said, let me try. Let me try. And you did it.
I did. And then
I would have never met you.
No, because that was actually, I want to say, there may have been that was the first year that I did that.
Okay.
That was the first year that I did that. And from meeting you and coming across Mr. Kathy, I went to the Apollo that year twice. Like there's so much that happened because of that. The first countdown.
That's right.
I was floored. I was like, this is what faith personified looks like. Because
let me tell you. Okay, so I shared the video.
You did.
And Mary and J. Catherine was like, who is this three? I said, you know what? I don't know. I'm going to get to it. I told him that. And he was like, let me, you have our contact information. I believe I your Instagram information. And he contacted you, and he wanted you to do Apollo. He's a producer for the amateur night. And he was like, forward by your boy. And I don't know. Tell me what happened after that. What did we do? And what did you do?
He reached out. He sent a message, and he was like, "Hey, how would you like to compete for amateur night for the Apollo?" And I was like, "The original Apollo, the one you mean, the one everybody who I love, who I'm a fan of, has been to?" Like, yeah, because in my mind, like the competition part didn't matter. I wanted to be on the stage. I wanted to see the names on the wall. I wanted to like say that I did. You know, I have a picture right now. Like I have the picture with the wall behind me with the Apollo. Like my day was made. So to actually place the first time and come in like second run up the second time, I was like, dreams made. I was there twice. And so, yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Like, I can say that was a childhood dream. I remember watching the show when Steve Harvey was the host at 2 and 3, wanting to be on Apollo Kids, but scared to death to sing in public. So that was crazy. Mm-hmm. That was really crazy.
And then when you arrived, your experience, how it for you?
Well, it made me realize a couple of things. Number one, although I had competed before, in talent competitions, I do not like it.
Right.
I actually am, and that's because I'm a fan of everyone. Like I believe that you don't have to be easily impressed, but you can engage and have compassion with everybody.
That's true.
And musically, we're diverse. Sometimes you're not going to come across people who are as musically inclined as you, but that doesn't mean that they're insignificant or that their musicality does not have a place. And so to put those things, all together, there's other things that there's other factors in that sphere of influence as far as the Apollo goes, that musicality wasn't the only thing or the actual whole of what you were being I guess because the judges are people sitting in seats. So like there's a little bit of politics there, and I was like, yeah, I'm more interested in the music. But I met some wonderful people. I met some very talented people, and like I was there in the building again with the wall, the same backstage that I know some of my favorites have stood behind to go on the same stage. So for me, the experience owes me nothing. It really
What
does.
song did you sing?
I sang Anita Baker's Sweet Love, and then I sang Through the Fire by Shaka Khan.
Yes, yes.
So what I noticed with that whole thing is when you sing iconic songs, to the vast majority of certain people, they do not like it when you sing it differently or when you don't sound exactly like the person that recorded the
That's
song.
very true.
Unless it's like a cover, but I think the audience was expecting a certain way for things to be executed. Because there was the second time there was a young lady, she sang a Whitney Houston song, and she sang it not she didn't sound like Whitney Houston, but she sang it just the way Whitney Houston did. Like I guess they wanted to be like whereas they could sing along in the audience. So
Let me tell you,
so she actually
yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
Because
Once you see,
they
they want
you,
you,
especially if
especially if
you're
you're
covered,
covered,
they
they want you
want
to
you to
sound
sound
like
like the art.
the art.
right.
I'm gonna tell
And
you
I
right now.
think I gravitate more to the artsy part, to where it's like there was no denying that they didn't enjoy me. It was just more of I think they had an expectation, and I'm one of those people that does not articulate the expectations of others very well.
No, but I love
I
it
love it
because
because
you are
you
you.
are you.
You
Uh-huh.
can interpret the
Interpret the
song
song
your way,
your way.
Yes, and I
and that's
think
only
also
right.
like the house band was amazing, but my wheelhouse at the time was sitting down at the piano and playing it for myself, and me just creating a whole mood for myself
Mhm.
and kind of inviting people in. And I think I was just a little bit more disconnected too, just because um I wasn't playing for myself, and these weren't musicians that I regularly sang with. So it was just a learning curve. And so it was a learning experience more so than anything. It's just kind of like it's okay to thrive where you thrive, and it's
Oh,
okay for you to show up as you even more. Like I
right.
think I was able to do that with the band, but I also know that I would have been able to actually maybe tap in a little bit more into my own authenticity had I played for myself.
Mhm. But that's what I
That's
love
what I
about
love
your
about your
covers.
covers.
You
Hmm.
take the
The
covers
covers
and
and
you
you
make it your
make
own.
it your own.
And to
And
me,
to me,
because of my
because of
training
my
and my
training and my
background,
background,
when I
when I
hear a
hear a
vocalist
vocalist
Hmm.
sing a
sing a
cover,
cover,
I want them
I
to
want them
take,
to
of
take,
course, the
of course, the
melody,
melody,
but make
but
it
make it
their own.
their own.
Hmm.
And you're very
Very
wise with how
wise with
you
how
twist
you
it,
twist it
on how
and how
you
you
implement your
implement your
sound,
sound,
your chord
your chord
changes,
changes,
your
your
runs,
runs,
whatever you
whatever
do,
you
you're
do,
very
you're
smart
very smart
about how you
about how
implement
you
that.
implement
And
that.
I
Well,
And
commend
I
you.
commend
well, thank you
I do.
so
Because some people do way
you
too
do way
much.
too much.
much. Well, my thing is I focus on tone more than anything because I know people who can do miraculous runs, but
Yes.
the tone is like if it's on a tone that nobody enjoys, it's not enjoyable. Like
That's
it's
right.
not. So like I've always kind of honed in on that because I felt like that was the most important thing. And whatever you do, even if you're sick, if you know what tone you can use that can make
Yes.
it a pleasant experience, when your agility is not there, there still has to be something. So
That's right. I want to thank some of our listeners. Miss Renee Jones. She says, Laurice, congratulations for having me. Proud of you. I love you, Renee. My classmate from high school. She's brilliant. Dr. Renee Jones, actually. She's phenomenal. We have, she says, interesting. Beautiful lady. Oh, we have the president of healthcare, Mr. Green. He says, love hearing this.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, he is awesome. He just celebrated his 25 years in healthcare. And he is running for councilman here in Jackson State. And we love Mr. Green. Okay. Just want to let you know that he's listening right now. We love you, Laken. And I'm so happy to have you. No idea. Because you have grown even from 2018 to present. You know, you've been through so much, and I always say you gotta go through it. Mm-hmm. And you have really done that. You are. You really are. Okay. So we're gonna take a little break, and then when we come back, I want you to sing "Sweet Love" for me.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna have Laken, "Sweet Love." This is actually I don't know what I heard back in 2018.
Nope, it was probably Giving You the Best That I Got.
Okay, yes it was.
Or right. I think I did a mashup with a little bit of both of them. Yep.
And I love Anita Baker, so just just give the love to the people right now.
With all my heart, I love you, baby. Stay with me, and you will see my eyes. Will hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause I believe I'm in love. Sweet love, hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet love, don't you ever go away. We will always be this way. Your heart is calling me closer to you. Stay with me, and I will be all that you need. Never leave, 'cause baby, I believe I'm in love. Sweet love, keep me calling your name. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet love, don't you ever go away. We will always be this way. There's no stronger love in this world. Oh, baby, you're my man, I'm your girl. I'll never go, can't be right, feel so wrong. Don't you know this is where you belong? I'm in love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet love, don't go have to forgive me. I have postnasal drip really, really bad.
You're not by yourself. I'm here. But we don't know.
We're batting at about an 8 right now.
We do not know that. Oh my goodness. Wow. We just love you and appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for having me and loving me and all those good things. I love you back.
I have to tell you, back in 2019, I had a 40th celebration. You came all the way from Arkansas.
I did.
For my birthday. It was the greatest that I had had.
Yep, I think it was 2018. And the reason being
Yes,
is
it
because
was.
of where I lived. Yep, my parents came. Yep, they came and helped me drive.
Yes, it was 2018. It was amazing.
It was amazing
in person.
Mhm.
And your spirit. You are the sweetest, gentle soul I've ever met.
Oh.
And
just
so much
so much light
comes out of you. Just your
Your
presence is so miraculous.
Oh, wow.
So I
That
just
means
want to
a
let
lot
you
to
know
me.
that.
Oh, that made me
Definitely.
cry.
But before we add some more music, I want to talk about your influences growing up. What did you love listening to?
Oh, Lord. There's so many. People think it's always weird, but the men of R&B, from New Jack Swing to like back 70s, 60s, 50s, like all the men, like for some reason, I don't know. I have a pipsqueak of a soprano voice, but the technique that you hear comes from all the people like Al Green, Johnny Taylor, Bobby Womack, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, like Nat King Cole, like all of those people. You know, the OJs, all the male groups, the Temptations, the Four Tops, like everybody. And then you sprinkle in the usual suspects: Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight. You know, those were the women who sang like men, not in their tone, but they had their own thing. Like they didn't sound like any other woman.
They give you the
They
meat.
sounded like themselves.
Yes, and they give you that soul.
Oh yes.
Yes. Not from the up, but from the
Oh yeah, from the yeah.
yes. Exactly, because that's
I love
probably my favorite of male vocal.
Oh yes, like
I
and even
love
when you
the
come
grit.
into like the
Yes.
the 90s, you know, I'm a 90s kid. I was born in November of 1990. So like I gathered all of those things, and you know, of course, the Detroit gospel sound
Yes.
is right there with the Motown Detroit sound, because those all of them went to school together. Like most people don't realize that, but like you have people that say, you know, like I went to school with such and such, and they went, you know, they got famous around the same time in both genres. So like pretty much everything. There's not very many people, like I said, that I haven't gleaned from, but like I know that the R&B and gospel artists of their era unmatched.
Frankly, I'm already thinking it. I said, but frankly, said applause.
Oh, well, thank you.
And then we have another phenomenal vocalist. He is awesome. I taught him his name is Guy. I love you and Laken.
Oh, it's such a small world. He sang for me not too long ago at a church service. Yes, I did worship for a friend, and he was there. That is so crazy. It's such a small world.
Yes, I love her.
I love you too, Green.
Oh my goodness. So it's just really about your background now. Where do you see yourself going in the next 20, 40?
Okay, in the next 20 to 40 years, I I want to at least say that I have finally nailed down some music that people can own and say that they listen to. I'm working on that now, but ultimately, I want to be. It's not I want to be. I know that I'm called to be a bridge, not just to genres, not just to generations, not just between sacred and secular music. I want to be able to say that I came and I brought people together for at least 5 minutes at some point in your life. At
That's what
some point
music.
in a
Yes.
person's life, I want to say that that was something that I did. And I'm doing it by several different avenues, and music is probably 92% of it.
Laken, that's what music is here for. It's to bridge
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
communicates. It's a
It's a
way of communication from all
all
ethnicities,
ethnicities,
languages, people,
people, type,
everyone.
everyone.
Most
It brings us
definitely.
together. And
Together.
it's therapy. And now we have
And now
social
we have
media.
social media
Mhm.
Reach out with music, and that's what you're doing.
and that's what you're doing.
Most
So
definitely.
take it a
Take it
step
a
at a
step
time
at a
and
time
keep doing
and
what you're doing and go
go
forward.
forward.
Yes, ma'am. That
Yes,
is very
ma'am.
much what I intend to do.
And you know what? You
You know
mentioned
what? You mentioned
just a few minutes
just a few
ago.
minutes ago.
90s group.
90s group.
Mm-hmm.
So you did back in
Back in
2021. You did
2021.
this song
You did this
called
song
Let's
called
Chill,
Let's
Very
Chill,
Hall
Very Hall
from Guy
Oh,
from the
yes.
90s group, right?
right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a little clip of that. I want to play this from the 2021 14-day countdown.
Countdown.
But 14 days. What was it?
It wasn't 14 days that in 21. This year I did 14 days, but I did 7 last. I was trying to get out of doing it because it was the 4th year, and I really had made plans to actually do a show or something, which I got to do this year. So that was cool.
Oh,
On my
wow.
5th year anniversary of it, on was it February the 10th, I did my first An Evening with Love with Laken in the middle of the countdown.
Okay.
I actually was able to take some of the fuzzies that we do with the countdown on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok now. And I was able to do it with a room full of people. A lot of them were couples. It was amazing. It was so amazing.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
It's awesome.
Let's have little clips
Let's
of
have
it.
little clips of
How
it.
did it go? Did
I
people
know
listen?
that people
Oh,
listen.
I know they
Oh,
did.
I know they
It was really, really good. It was a small crowd, but like it was the world to me because they actually came out and like there was a lot of people. They went live a couple of times and like there was a great response for that too. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like I said, the night owes me nothing, and I'm gonna actually go back. Probably not next February, but probably sometime in the interim.
Okay.
But yeah, people have been asking just about me and where I'm gonna be next because of that. And so like that was my first show, and it all happened because I decided to turn my camera on in 2017. So
You see,
You see,
if we have any
any
artists
artist
listening,
listening
just
to
try
it,
and do
just try and do
artistry
artistry
or
or
just do it.
engineering,
whatever it is.
area.
Area.
Take that one
Take
step.
that one step.
Know you can do
Know you
it.
can do it.
Please
And
do.
keep it
Keep
moving.
it moving.
Do it
You have
scared.
good days and
Good
bad
days
days,
and bad days.
but you gotta go
But
through
you
the
gotta go
issues,
through the
and
issues.
you will
And
be
you will
okay.
be okay.
You will.
Just have to keep
You have to
pushing
keep
and
pushing
know that you can
and
do
know
it.
that you can do it.
Yes.
That's
Most
it.
definitely.
And
And
wonderful things
wonderful
happen.
things happen.
I'm going to play
I'm going
this
to play this
right now. This
right
is called
now.
Let's Chill, one of
Let's
my
Chill,
favorite
one of my
songs from the
favorite songs
90s.
from the 90s.
And you sure
And you
did an
should do
excellent
an
job.
excellent
Okay?
job.
I was having a blast.
I love this.
Love this.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
From the first time
The first time
I saw your
I
face,
saw your face,
oh, I knew
oh,
I
I
had
knew
to
I
have
had
you.
to have you.
I wanted to wrap
I wanted
you
to wrap
in
you
a
in
warm
a
embrace,
warm embrace,
vision of
vision
your
of your love.
face. All my love
All
is for
my love
you.
is for you.
Whatever you want, I will do. You're the only
You're the
love
only
of
love of
my
my
life.
life.
For you I'll make a
You have made a sacrifice.
sacrifice.
Oh, let's
Let's
deal.
let's
Let's
settle
settle
down.
down.
That's
That's
what
what
I
I
want.
want.
Just me
Just
and
me
you.
and
Let's
you.
deal.
Let's deal.
Let's settle
Let's
down.
settle
That's what I
down.
want.
That's what I want.
Just me
Just
and you.
me
Everybody
and you. Everybody
forever and
forever and
ever
ever,
and
ever
ever
and
and
ever,
ever
ever and ever,
always. One more time.
always. And one more time.
Forever and
Ever and
ever
ever,
and
ever
ever
and
ever
ever,
and
ever and
always.
always.
Oh,
Oh, let's
let's
chill.
settle
Let's
down.
settle
That's what
down.
I want.
That's what I want to
Just
do.
me and
Just
you.
me and you. Ah.
That is Aaron Hall
That's
right
Aaron
there.
Hall right there.
That is Aaron Hall.
Oh yes.
And you know
I
that's an
just,
Aaron
Aaron
Hall.
Hall.
I mean, he's so iconic. But like the videos literally come from a place of having a blast. Like I know that first year that I did it, I sang a Jeffrey Osborne song. Now he is in the basement and I am a soprano, but I was able to get down there.
Look at
Look at Brittany Macklin.
She said, "Do you?"
Do you?
I'm trying.
Oh, here's another one.
Here's another one from this year.
Your wife
Hair.
is chilling.
He
That's the
said,
whole
"No,
point.
wife is
Wife
chilling."
is chilling.
That is the goal. That is the goal. I have a penchant for married people vibing to R&B. Like I just feel like it's a thing that everybody needs to do.
Right.
Get married and vibe to R&B.
Oh my goodness.
That's
I love
I
it.
love it. I love it.
Because you're able to you can do a little bit of everything. You know, and sit down and you just start going and have it. And that's what really drew me to you back in 2018. And I consider it a gift to meet you and to witness your gifts. And I want the world all about you. Yes. Can you just give us something? I want to know more things before we go. Just give me anything. That's it.
This is also one that I found myself doing here lately. At my live shows, I always get an older crowd, and I actually love that because I'm 32, but in my mind I'm old. So,
You're young.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want, it's all right with me. You make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my life with you. Since we've been together, loving you forever. That's all I need. Let me be the one you come running to.
true. Oh, oh, let's stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad, times are good or bad, happy or sad, whether times are good or bad, happy or sad.
I love you. Yes. 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 I love you. Woo!
Thank you.
Yes. I need for you to tell the people how they can reach you.
Okay.
Give them your social media.
Okay. Okay, so my regular Facebook is Laken Stalker. I don't know if I can write it on the screen or something.
I will right now.
Oh, my name is Laken Stalker. I have a music page on Facebook with just the name Laken.
Okay.
My TikTok and my Instagram have the same name, which is at LCM Lanier. My YouTube page, where all my Instagram videos go to die or go to rest peacefully, is also Laken on YouTube. My TikTok is at LCM ELANNAIRE.
Your TikTok.
It's the same as my Instagram, but let me make sure, because I'm already signed in, so like I don't have to spell it.
Okay. Can you give me your handle for TikTok one more time?
It's the same one as the Instagram, LCMELANNAIRE, LC Lanier. For
Okay.
TikTok and Instagram.
Okay. And then I want to make sure people know.
And there's an at.
Okay.
I think you can follow, because sometimes I do some impromptu singing and going live on my personal Facebook page, and I think I may hook it up to my Laken page, but my Laken page by itself is hooked directly to my Instagram. So once it's uploaded on Instagram, it will all be there too.
Oh, awesome.
So look, my personal page is hooked to my Instagram, and my Instagram is hooked to my artist page. So it all comes up together. And then TikTok also is done that way. And I think a lot of my Instagram videos come up as reels.
Okay.
In Facebook too. So you can probably find them in Facebook Watch as well.
Oh, awesome. Wonderful. Okay, and then if they email you.
Okay, I have a booking site. I don't have a flyer at this time, but I have an email address that I can be reached. And it's booklcmmusic@yahoo.com. I do weddings, I do funerals, I do bar mitzvahs. I haven't been invited to one, but I do them. Engagements, live music performances, all of the above. Just if you need it, I probably can do it.
No, you can't. All right. So is there anything that you right now? Because I know you are.
I am an associate minister at my home church, and for the biggest part, I do music ministry. There I serve with a team. There's no one set leader, but I do also do itinerant worship ministry, which is where people usually reach out on an email address as well. I travel. I just actually came back from San Antonio this
Oh
Sunday,
wow.
which is probably why I'm still a
Wait.
little rusty.
No, I remember. You said you know.
So,
But yes, I do that, and I also, like I said, I do the events, but for the most part, the biggest thing is music ministry. So like that's what I get the most calls for.
Mm.
That's my bread and butter because I love me some worship. So that's
Oh
what.
wow.
So this weekend I actually have two engagements outside of regular church service. So I'll be somewhere Saturday morning for a women's conference, and then I'll be at a musical on Sunday evening at 3. They'll be locally here in Arkansas, close to my hometown. I go to church in my hometown as well, so
Okay. Okay.
okay.
I'll be doing that, and I have a couple of events coming up in April. I'm supposed to be at Church at the Club, which is an outreach ministry where they actually have service at a club. I have some pretty fun things from inspired by my videos for that event. I'm excited about that. And then I'll be doing some itinerant ministry later on in April in Texas again. So not in San Antonio, but in East Texas. So I'm a little busy worker bee right now.
We are so.
You are
Look,
so.
I just
I
want to
just want
say
to
that you
say that
are
you are
amazing,
amazing,
spirit,
spirit,
soul. The
soul.
world needs you.
You.
The world needs
World
you. We
needs you. We
are
are
encouraging you in what you're
for what
doing.
you're
Do
doing.
not
Do
give
not
up.
give up.
It looks like it may
Like
not
it may
work
not
out for
work
you.
out for you.
I'm speaking from
Speaking from
experience.
experience,
I can
Mhm.
put you on,
you on,
especially
especially
being
being
in the
in the
arts
arts
Mhm.
and
and
being a
being a
performer, and
performer,
then
and then
don't relate
don't
performing
relate
to
to
singing. That's a completely
that's a
different
completely
world.
different world.
Also, being a
Also, being
worshiper,
a worshiper,
Mhm.
it's not easy.
easy.
So you
It's
have
not.
to remember, stay
Remember,
prayed
stay
up
prayed up,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
do
do
not
not
God. God will never
I'll
leave you.
never leave you.
You keep
You keep
on
on
working with your craft and
craft and
becoming what
becoming
you be.
pretty
Accurate music.
accurate music.
That's all I can
No.
say. We just
We
encourage
just
you.
encourage you.
Is there anything you
Is there
want to
anything you want to
try? Any
try? Any
musicians or
musicians
vocalists
or
who just
vocalists who just
listening tonight? Is there
listening
anything
tonight?
you
Is
would
there
like to
anything you
share
would
with
like
them
to share
before
with
we
them
leave?
before we leave?
Yes. First of all, I want to say thank you again for having me. I told you in private, but I want to tell you in front of everybody else because I think you're just as amazing. I appreciate it. I do not take it lightly that you wanted to share your platform with little old me tonight. And so I pray that the blessings chase you down like a Mack truck and just run you over. Because we're doing this. But I really want to say to anybody that's looking that is in the arts, that's in any genre of music, that does anything that has anything to do with this. Um Take it from somebody who has done it scared and is doing it scared even now. I am a completely different person because I dared to step out on faith, not just in God, but on who He made me to be. Um, and it started when I wasn't sure that I had all the pieces, but I just had the hope to do something that scared the bejesus out of me. And I can not stress enough how important it is to just do the one thing. And the more you do the one thing, you'll find that there's two or three things that are just as scary. And if you did that one thing, you can do all the rest of them.
That is so true.
Um, so I want to say, give yourself grace to figure it out, and don't feel like you have to figure it all out at once. Just take one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, one song at a time, one riff at a time. Pray the whole time while you're doing it. And when you get to where you are and you look back and see where you started from, know, know for sure that there's somebody greater than you that put everything you need on the inside of you to step in the rooms that you'll be called to be the person that you were always meant to be. Just don't be afraid to take the first step. And that's it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I
I
am
am going to cry tonight.
I tell you, it's awesome.
Awesome.
It's very true. Very true.
Very true.
I just want to
I
thank
just want to
everyone
thank everyone
tonight.
tonight.
Amazing
Amazing
artists.
artists.
Studio
Studio is going to
present you
present you
so
so
talent, so
so
many people in this
this
world.
world.
We're going to
You're going to
information and work
and
hard.
work hard.
If you need to
Go.
go, talk to
Talk to
entrepreneurs,
entrepreneurs,
people
people
outside of music. So if
So
you
if you
want to
want to
support
support this,
be sure
sure
to
to
scan
and
the
the
QR
QR
code
code
on your
on
right
your right
screen.
screen.
You can also
Also
catch
catch up
Studios.
Studios.
We are doing
voice
and virtual,
virtual.
and we're here to
help
help artists, people of all
ages
make a better
make a
world.
better world.
Our skills
In
and
our
and
and
we are
so
so excited.
excited.
We're so happy
Laken,
and we just
hope
that you really enjoy every single minute
tonight.
Okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Give us one more song tonight with beautiful voice.
I don't even know what to sing at this point.
Anytime.
We know you can do it.
Oh, let's see. I don't know. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there. I ever once in a lullaby.
Keep going.
Upon a star and wake up with the clouds apart behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Oh, they can get a thing in the air. Why can't I?
We love you, Laken.
Love you.
Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in.
I